TOA community, welcome back. I'm Robert Linkle with trainingtheolderadult.com. Welcome to the channel. Please subscribe, please like, please throw a comment if you'd like to down below. Help us grow the channel. We work really hard to bring you this content. So if you could hit the subscribe button, help us grow, we would really appreciate it. All right, we're gonna dive into this article here. Step up your walking routine to reap the most benefits. This is a newsletter article from Kaiser Permanente, which is a medical group here in California. I think West Coast and Southeast, something like that. Their Kaisers kind of spread out a little bit all over the country, I think, as this company is growing. Anyhow, all right, we're going to dive into the benefits of walking per this article and see if, number one, did they get it all right? Number two, are they missing anything? And number three, are we implementing this walking routine correctly? So, first thing they go into here is it's no secret that regular physical activity is important to your health. We just talked about this in one of our previous articles, and we threw out a number. Does everybody remember that number? How many minutes a week of activity you're supposed to get through to be in, basic or minimum condition and good health? So we'll talk about that in just a second, but they're going to dive into this. Exercise reduces the risk of many chronic diseases, relieves stress, and may help you live longer, okay? So that's kind of the key component of this whole thing. As we go through, you need to know 150 minutes. There's our number, okay? 150 minutes. This is a bare minimum. They talk about five 30-minute workouts a week, which would give you 150 minutes, which is great. And I would be thrilled if you were doing nothing at all and all of a sudden you started doing five 30-minute walks a week. That's fantastic. What's the negative thing to that? Is you're not getting any resistance on your body, right? You're walking with your already body weight. Cardiovascular health, outside, mood, good fresh air, energy, sun, social, cognitive. There's so many great things to be benefited from by going out and walking. I would love it if you would do that. 5 days a week, 30 minutes, that's amazing, okay? But we need two 20 to 30 minute workouts a week would added with that, and now we're golden, okay? Add another 60 minutes, so you're at 210, okay? 210 minutes a week. Now we've got a really good program. We could grow from there, but now we've got a really good program, okay? So they do talk about breaking it up, putting into some other condition, but specifically from walking, what are we getting, okay? Real quick on this, they have the, let me go back to this one. They have this brisk walk is about, 30 minutes of brisk walk is about 3,000 steps, okay? Right around 2,000-ish steps, you're gonna hit a mile, okay? For the average individual, depending on the pace that you're going through. You have 5,280 feet in a mile. The average person takes about 2.4 feet per step, something along those lines. So you're right around 2,000 to 2,400, something along in there. Don't quote me exactly, but somewhere around in there. So 3,000 steps, you're gonna get about 1.5 miles in 30 minutes. The average person walks at a 20-minute mile pace, so you're right on, okay? So with 3,000 steps in mind. Now you just went for a 30-minute walk, okay? That was your 3,000 steps. Now, this next article that I wanted to sub into this talks about an associated pattern of all-cause mortality with older adults. And what did they find? Look at the very bottom, the conclusion and relevance. In this cohort study, the number of days per week taking 8,000 steps per day drastically reduced mortality rates, okay? 8,000 steps. So if you go out on a 30-minute walk and you already got 3,000 knocked out, we've got 5,000 steps that we need to do the rest of the day and the rest of the 23.5 hours that you have in the day to get another 5,000 steps. So they're just saying a bare minimum. Remember when it was like do 10,000 steps a day and you'll be good? And then there was all this research and everybody, 10,000, that's way too much. The average person doesn't do that much. The average person does between 8 and 10,000 steps a day if they are active and up and about and doing things, not including just sitting at a desk for 8 to 12 hours a day. If they're up and moving and being active, not only will they be in better shape, have better cognition, have better sleep, all the things we're going to talk about, but they will also live longer, okay? And the numbers are proving it. I forgot the exact number of how many people they had in here, but you get to see between all these ages and the all-cause mortalities and everything else they, chart, yada, yada, all this cool shit. It's all in there for you to check it out. I just wanted you to be able to reference the article. It's like 9 pages long. If you want to check it out, pop over there. You can see it, but I love it. The basics came down to let's get 8,000 steps a day. If you can get up to 10,000, that's even better. Okay, but remember, there is such a thing as too much where it's going to start to have a negative return. If your body is not ready for these increases, you got to go slow. So don't go pop on there and go, Rob told me I got to start walking 5 days a week, lifting twice a week, sleeping 8 hours a day, eating this and that. Let's do a couple of things at a time. Let's take a deep breath. myself included. I'm very excited about this topic, as you can tell, okay? I love this because you know where it leads? To rucking, which is awesome. That's rucking with an R. Get your head out of the gutter. It's rucking, okay? It's on to rucking, where you're gonna walk with weight, which is gonna benefit you because what? How did I start this whole thing off? By saying that walking doesn't have any resistance, right? But rucking does. Now I get to walk and carry load. Now my body has resistance. It's a win-win situation of something you're already doing, okay? All you gotta do is put on a backpack or a vest and you're golden. All right, let's get back to this. So sub-article, you can go check that out on the 8,000 steps. All right, brisk walk every day improves your cardiovascular fitness. That's fantastic. Reduces your risk of heart disease, 100%. Okay, anything that's gonna challenge your cardiovascular system, help you increase your VO2 max, all the way down to reducing neuropathy. This is a disease that comes on about from smoking or from diabetes and some other nerve-related issues, but basically you start to lose feeling in your fingers and your hands. Increasing your cardiovascular system increases blood pressure that pushes oxygenated blood down into the capillary exchanges deep in the densities of your distal ends of your fingers and your feet, which helps you keep that feeling and that sensation in there. If you have neuropathy, you can't heal it, okay? But you can definitely improve how much you can feel and how much you can, dexterily coordinate with your hands. And this is one of the ways to do it, by reducing body fat and blood sugars, right? Not having type 2 diabetes or having high blood sugar all the time. And also by increasing your cardiovascular health. Heart attack, reduce the risk of that for sure. Chronic obstructions of pulmonary disease, COPD, right? Stroke and heart attack that come about from that. Helps you lower your blood pressure, your blood sugars, reduces your risk of stroke, increases your blood flow, protects your valves and your veins when you start to push your blood into your heart. Okay, varicose veins helps reduce those. So we're getting wins all the way across the board here. Helps you ward off disease, as we just talked about too, including breast and colon cancer. Those are the #1 killers of men and women, respectfully, right? Well, not the number one versions of cancer, okay, that kill men and women and men, excuse me. Blood sugar levels, reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes. We just talked about that. Okay, which is fast on the rise, by the way, everybody. Fast on the rise. If you haven't looked at obesity rates #1, type 2 diabetes, tell me those two things aren't coordinated and correlated in their drastic increases over the last 3 years, specifically last 10 years overall. And then go and look at our youth and look at the numbers going in there. It's sad, people. Our kids are more obese, morbidly obese than ever. And type 2 diabetes from 8 to 13-year-old, it's ridiculous. That shouldn't even be a question. That shouldn't be something they're worried about. And we have kids that are type 2 diabetics and between 8 and 13. Anyway, getting off topic. Anyhow, okay, improves physical fitness. Movement lubricates your knees, your hips, all your joints really, but because we're walking so much, there's gonna be an emphasis on the lower body. It will definitely help your joints improve range of motion, stability, coordination, balance. There's good heel striking and rhythm and rolling through your gait when you get to practice doing it over and over again, especially on different undulating hills or different textures. If you're on asphalt and then you're on grass and then you're on decomposed granite, DG, and then you're on a sidewalk for pavement, whatever it is, right? Changing the elevations and gains, serpentining in and out around things. All of this will help you coordinate. The more you do anything practice-wise, the better we will get at it. So those that are aging, getting older, typically start to become fall rest. They get less stable and balanced because they're not doing a lot of the things that we're talking about here. But if you simply practice the art and the coordination and the act of walking, you will be able to continue walking pretty efficiently, okay? Anything we continue to practice and maintain, we should, for the most part, be able to do that, especially something as simple as walking, which is general locomotion, which we've been doing more than breathing for the majority of our lives, okay? Balance, coordination, and helps prevent weight gain for sure. And then reducing arthritis risk too. That's another big one, okay? Arthritis is such a touchy thing because if you have it and you don't move, it flares up and it hurts. If you have it and you move too much, it flares up and it hurts. So you have to find the most efficient ways to move with your body. In most cases, sagittally, in a regular walking gait, isn't really an extreme range of motion or an over excessive load or an over excessive amount of time that's going to cause or create flare-ups. So this is a very good way to exercise with your arthritis or with your limitations and not around it. Please take that mindset out of your brain, that you don't work around limitations, you don't work around injuries, you don't work around the problem that you have. The reason you have that issue is because you're avoiding it. You need to find a way to train with that limitation and improve it, okay? Well, I got a bad shoulder, I can't reach overhead. Okay, cool, let's not do any overhead pressing then. Does that make sense? Shit, no, it doesn't make any sense. What can I do to help you get to overhead pressing? Well, let me row for a couple of months, and then let me do pullovers for a couple of months. Let me do pivot point presses and shoulder raises and build the ability to open your shoulders to a position where you do have the strength to press your arms overhead. Now we address the problem. Now we don't have to work around anything because we just fixed you. It's the same thing here. Okay, if you're having problems walking, let's find a way to walk with this limitation, whatever the injury is, whatever the limitation is, get you better at that, help you increase with strength gain and reduce your body fat and increase your bone density and build some more muscle. All of those things come together to help you walk more efficiently. Now, as you age 60, 70, 80, you're not a fall risk anymore because you've taken care of the problem. Everybody with me? Okay. So don't work around your injuries. Find a way to train with them smartly and hopefully overcome them. Okay. Just because you're getting older doesn't mean you have to accept all of these things. I'm not going to be the guy that says age is just a number. That I get what that means, but I'm also a realist, and I understand as we get older, it's going to be harder for us to recover. It's going to be harder to build muscle. We're going to start carrying more body fat. All these things are going to start to happen. But what's the most efficient way that we can address it? That's what I'm here to teach you and hopefully share with you. Okay. It boosts your brain function, 100%. The more oxygenated blood flow you get to your head, especially under pressure, exercising, huffing and puffing, you're increasing that blood flow. Fantastic for your brain, okay? Check out my guy, Ryan Glatt. He's got great information on this, which helps with just general exercise, resistance training, all very good. Warding off dementia, other mind focus or mind-based limitations like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease, etc. All right, supports mental health. Number one, stress reducer, okay, and body stress reducer, mental stress reducer, helps you relieve symptoms from anxiety or reduce them, and helps reduce any depression, helps you improve. I think you're outside, you're in a beautiful environment, maybe you're out there with your people, with your buddies, right? Builds immunity, as we talked about. This helps boost your immune system, fights off disease, infection, common colds, COVID. Hey, baby, where were we 3 years ago with this, right? Exercise, everybody. Improve your immune system, improve so you can fight off whatever comes your way. 65 and over, what's the number one killer of anybody, male or female, over 65? It's pneumonia, right? I mean, that's a big one. You go in with a hip that you fell and broke and you die from pneumonia going into the hospital. This happens all the time. So getting out, exercising, being around other people, boosting your immune system, boosting your body's strength and your ability to pull that strength when you need to fight something off. This is a great way to do that. Okay, so not only are we improving our quality of interaction, our minds, our community with the people around us that we can walk with. You're outside taking in vitamin C, vitamin D, you're getting good fresh air, hopefully if you're not in the city. And these are all components that help improve your mood. This exercise that you put out now is going to make you tired. So when you come home, there's a reason to go to sleep. Not just it's nighttime, I got to go to bed. It's I'm tired and I'm going to go to sleep. My head hits the pillow every night. I got to fight to keep my eyes open to be able to watch a show or talk with my missus right while we're going, because I'm so tired from everything I put out today, from this energy that you're seeing right now. I'm so tired from that I'm ready to go to bed. It's not I have to go to bed. It's I can't wait to go to sleep because I'm beat, right? Give your body and your mind a reason to go to sleep. Get tired. Go out and exercise, stimulate your brain, challenge yourself. And it's more than Sudoku and Tai Chi, baby. You got to get out there and challenge yourself and push yourself in ways that your body is not used to. I talk about this SAID principle all the time. Specific adaptation to an imposed demand. My body will not change, okay? It will not change if there is not a new demand. What's the new demand? I'm going to walk faster. I'm going to get a new hill. I'm going to carry a little bit. I'm jumping my stations here. Let me get into this one first, and then we'll talk about that more. Okay, ways to shake up your routine with walking. Track your trips. I love these little apps, okay? You hit your little button, your little workout button, and you scroll up one or two, and there's your hiking, right? And you're open. You can select goals. You can tell them how far you want to go. Hit that guy. It'll track it for you. You can track loops. You can do distances, out and backs, whatever, and then try to beat your time or beat your pace or carry some weight, as we'll talk about here, and do the same thing. Really, really fun. Buddy up, bring a friend, join a walking group, join a rucking group, get involved. Tuning in, listening to music, listening to a podcast, educating yourself while you're going. Also, on the opposite of that, tune out. Maybe leave your phone if you feel safe. Some of us, we're walking by ourselves, bring your phone in case you do fall down. Another beautiful thing about these guys, these recognize when you are upright, these smartwatches, smart technology, they recognize when you're upright and what kind of walking pace you normally go at. And if all of a sudden that is thrown down on its side violently, this will alert. Number one, it'll say, did you just fall? And if you're knocked out, if you don't respond in 10 seconds, it alerts and sends for emergency response, okay? So this is awesome to have, right? Some type of smart technology. If you get hit by a car, or if you fall, trip, hit your head, and you're out, this thing will call and send help for you, and you didn't even have to do anything other than wearing it, right? So that's great. If you go out by yourself, okay, make sure you bring in something that you can coordinate and do this. But maybe you just don't, you put it in your backpack and you don't touch your phone and just enjoy, enjoy this, enjoy nature, enjoy the birds and the bees and the, depending on the city you're in, the honking and the police sirens, whatever it is, right, that you're out there with. But tune in or tune out, whatever you want. Vary your views. I've got all these different routes all around my house here for the last 4-ish years. I've been rucking, walking around here. I've got all these different routes depending on where I want to go. And I'm always trying to challenge and improve this just by giving myself a different stimulus, okay? Your body will not change unless you give it some new challenges, but cognitively it needs to be engaged in what you're doing. It's got to go, oh, this is a new route. This is a new challenge. Sometimes it's going backwards. If I go out this street, make a left, make a left, make a left, and I'm back, well, let me go back that way and come home the way I came, right? Just go in a different direction. Change the route. Do out and backs instead of loops. Do hill repeats. Anyway, there's other ones here, okay? Build your fitness, increase your speed. These are called fartleks, right? Basically what it sounds like, but it's a guy's last name, where you could walk really fast for 3 minutes and then walk medium for 1.5 minutes. Walk really fast for 3 minutes, so you're undulating, not via hills, but by tempo, by pace. Walk fast, walk medium, walk slow. Walk fast, walk medium, walk fast, walk medium, walk slow. Something like that, okay? You can change these up, change your views, change your rhythms, change your techniques, right? Do a charity walk, do a half marathon. We did a half marathon in Lake Tahoe, right? Or from the top of Spooner Summit all the way back to the casinos. It was fantastic. Beautiful view, trained for it for months, super fun, okay? Those are great events. Step it up and up, okay? Increase in hills. I am a mountain goat. I'm a hill seeker. I love climbing hills. I'll talk to you another time about this. Sometime I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes. Add weight. This one should have been the first one on my list. By adding load and more than 3 pounds, okay? Smaller framed individuals, typically female, but I'll say smaller framed individuals, anywhere between 5 and 10 pounds. If you're, let's say, 5'5" and under 140, okay? Start with 8 to 10 pounds. If you're over 5'5" or over 140, 150, then you could do like 15, 20 pounds, somewhere around in there. Rucking, the weight of the version of walking where you carry weight with you, either a backpack or a vest, is not about carrying really heavy loads. It's about carrying an additional amount of weight, 10 to 20, maybe 30 pounds, consistently for further distances. It's about every time I take a step, that's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 pounds that I just transferred in 10 steps that I wouldn't normally be doing. So now your 3,000 steps that you're taking for the day, right? In total load, if you're 150 pounds, you can do this math on there, add an extra 10 pounds with every step. By the day's end, you've got an extra ton or a half ton that you just moved, just by adding an extra 5 and 5 around your vest, okay? Now, what does that also do? It puts more load on your body. That's an overload. This is a good overload that your body's going to have to adapt to. The bones are going to have to get more dense. Your muscles are going to have to get stronger to hold you upright. Your core is going to have to get stronger to maintain the good posture you want to be in because you're carrying this ruck or this backpack. The impacts on your feet are going to get stronger, more coordinated, more balanced because they're moving a little bit more load. And they're learning to do it over and over and over again. Okay, and then you increase loads, and then you go up and down hills, and then you reduce the load and you go faster, and then you increase the load and you do lots of heights and different climbs and different variations, okay? This is a very efficient way. It's very cost effective. Once you get a backpack and a couple of weights, you're good to go. What do you got to do? Change your shoes twice a year and look both ways and not talk to strangers. That's about the extent of it, okay? Wear your sunblock, hydrate, sleep well, carb up. Not really, that's an old wives' tale, okay? So just keep good mindsets here, knowing that you can invest more than 3 pounds for sure. If you're going to literally carry weight, 1, 2, or 3 pounds in hand, now you do have a full body action is awesome. And one more thing on that, using walking sticks does not mean that you're wimpy. It doesn't mean that you're making it easier. When we do work capacity tests on how much output you're actually doing, it's harder to engage your upper body and walk than it is to not use them, okay? So anybody that tells you that, take that out of your mind. Say, I use these to help me balance, but you're also getting more upper body work, which is fantastic, which means you'll probably be able to go further because you're spreading the workout amongst 4 limbs and not just 2. Okay, that's why hikers use them. Why is it cool for hikers to use them but not walkers? Okay, don't let that get in your mind by any means. All right, and then our last one, workout on a treadmill. I'm not a fan because the treadmills are moving. You have to keep up with them. Okay, your body doesn't learn to extend and push through the hip. That's the whole idea of propelling yourself on the earth that's not moving. I know the earth is spinning. I just mean you're not standing on a board or a slide board or a roller skates, right? Where it's moving under your feet, but the treadmill is. You have to keep up with it. You're gliding over the top. I'd rather you work on asphalt or on concrete, on grass, on DG, on dirt, whatever it is, and get out there and do your best with real ground reaction. By the way, concrete is the worst thing to walk on. It's super hard. There's no give. And if you do have to walk on something, do it on asphalt. It's probably the softest of all the firm surfaces, but dirt, grass, DG, any of those other things are way better if you can. Also, change your shoes. What I do is when I get my boot, I write the date that I got it on the instep of my boot. And I know within 6 months for sure I need to replace them, but I also track my miles. And I know for the boots, I can get between 600 and 800 miles, which for me is between 6 and 7 months. Okay. I get right around 100, but this is my sport of rucking. So I do a lot more than the average bear, but kind of gives you an idea. Okay. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions on walking, rucking, including this into your regular daily program, remember, don't dive in 5 days a week, 30 minutes, build up to that. Start small, 2 20-minute walks, 10 out, 10 back. Start there, 2 10-minute workouts, 5 to 10 minutes on a couple of machines. Just introduce this into your life and get it going. Comments, questions, hit me up down below. If not, continue to fight your good fight against sarcopenia. I'm Robert Linkle, inside the bunker here at trainingtheolderadult.com. Much love and appreciation to all of you, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.